Hey, to my awesome women over 40. So I am out and about doing my Sunday walk. Sometime on Sundays, I like to walk. Sometimes I play golf with my husband. I'm going to get back into my pickleballing, but I'm doing something. So it's called active rest. And I picked this up from um, someone else in hot. And I love it because I'm active but I'm still resting my body. So I got my hiking shoes on because I'm near a mountain, but I'm still moving my body. So a woman, I watch this channel, she's like 70s, looking amazing. And she said she doesn't take a day off of working out. People are like, what do you do? She said active rest. So yoga, walking, all of those things. So as I'm walking, where I'm at, it's really quiet. There aren't that really is nobody out. I don't know if it's because it's wet or what. And I thought this would be a great time for me to talk to y'all because I always have so much on my mind. And I do the short videos, but this will give me some time to put on a longer one. So I want to talk about age gap marriages. And I was creating a short video about it. I thought, I have a lot to say. Age gap dating. So I have always admired older men. I've always been attracted to older men. Um, I like older men. And when I say older, I'm talking about in my 20s, I can remember being attracted to men that were fully gray. So I'm thinking at that time, it probably was men in their 50s. Like I've always liked older men. And I just have always desired an older man. And unfortunately, I couldn't attract older men. And I think part of that was because I look younger and even younger than what I am. So I couldn't attract them. But when I went on Match.com, that's when the windows of heaven opened up and I started to attract older men. And I told my husband's 55, and I said, you just made it because I really wanted to go over 60. Now, to give you an idea, at that time on Match, I was like 42, and I wanted to go over 60. So here's what I love about having an almost 10-year age gap with my husband and dating him at the time. Now, this isn't true for all men, I get it, but this was true for my situation. My husband was very serious. He was, of course, men play games, but my husband was done playing them games, honey. I believe that when you're dating age gap, they are foundationally, financially sound. Even if they've gone through a divorce, look, they probably been on their job like 30 years. They probably have, if they were retired military, got some military benefits. Um, they have very interesting stories and conversations. I talk to a lot of the 60 plus year old men at my gym. They're so interesting. Really, they're on the opposite side of life. If you've read a book called The Way of the Superior Man, where men, they're actually losing testosterone, right? It's lowering. That level of testosterone is lowering. So like their EQ, their emotional um, intelligence and that quotient, it's fun to talk to them. I mean, think about when you were a little girl, like when your grandpa would tell you stories. I love their stories and they're very mindful. My husband is very, very protective. There's a meme online where like the grandpa is mad at the grandma and he still holds the umbrella up. My husband is totally like that. No matter what's going on, we don't really have problems, but if I get an attitude about something or whatever, he is still going to do whatever it is he's going to do. He is still going to wash them cars. He's still going to wash our clothes. He's still going to be kind. He's still going to open my doors. He is going to do everything that he set out to do in our relationship, which I love. Another thing with age gap that I love is, they just tend to be very wise um, and very insightful. Like my husband is more intuitive. If there's something going on with me, he knows what's going on. The intimacy is different. Now, some of you all don't want to date older men because you're like, oh, they don't want to have a lot of sex. Well, in their 20s and 30s and 40s, they chased women and all they did was have sex. So 50, 60, 70, it's not that they can't because there's pills for that. Most of the time, it's just not the number one thing on their mind. Like they are looking at life through a different lens. So keep that in mind. Now, here's some challenges that you might run into age gap dating and age gap marriages. And that is people around you are going to be very jealous, opinionated, and you can feel it. And when I say jealous, I say So my husband is 55 double nickels. And we have a neighbor that's like 69 that's been calling on him a lot. And, it's funny. But the neighbor wants to hang out with us. And he's been married like 40 years. And I was like, y'all come over. But I don't want to hang out with a 69-year-old woman because I just don't want to. It's not my thing. And I found that even a lot of my husband's friends, because they've been married 20 plus years, their wives are late 50s, early 60s. And you coming in as an age gap, date her, an age gap, marriage. If you're over 40 watching my channel, you need to be thinking like, especially if you doing what I'm telling you to do, girl, get fit and be cute. You walk in that room and all eyes are on you. Even sometimes the husbands. And you have to be very mindful of how you dress. I'll tend to cover up more if my husband and I are going someplace where there's going to be a social outing. Um, because again, it's just being mindful, honey. And you got that energy going on because you've been watching my channel, you in my groups, you're different. Also be mindful of the children and the grandchildren, and sometimes the stepchildren. They might be closer to age to you than your life. So be very mindful that there are going to be external factors when you are dating over 40 because you're marrying over 40 and it's like a whole new world. But understand that internal relationship might be one of the best relationships you've ever had in your life because these men are amazing. They're protectors, they're providers, they're producers. They're not going to let nobody mess with you. They're not gonna let nobody act crazy with you. They typically are shut stuff down, and if there's a family member, they just don't play games. And I mean, I've seen that across the board. Okay, so I just want y'all to be encouraged. I've never had an opportunity, like I said, to date what I would consider an older man, but with my husband being 10 years older, I love it. I love it. I love it. The maturity level, the mindfulness, the protection, the provision. I mean, we don't go days and days and days with conflict or anything. Conflict resolution's pretty easy. So, yeah. But that's it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my walk and listen to a book. Oh, they're very interesting. Did I say that? And just start talking to older men you see at your gym. They are so fun. And like I said, many of them now are either divorced or widowed. And I don't care what they're saying in this manosphere. These men especially over 50, want to date beautiful women. They do want relationships, but like I said, now keep in mind you're gonna be dealing with some weddings with the exes. And you'll probably look way better than the ex. You'll probably be in more shape than the ex. So, you'll see the friends. Some people speak to you, some people won't. Who cares? Because at this point in your life, it's about being happy and enjoying the stage that you're in. As always, y'all, thanks for watching. Join the happywifeproject.com and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.